just about to get started. This is On the Air with VA3EWV. We're doing a ProCom Net tonight. ProCom Net comes on every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard and on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard as well. So the net's going to be starting in like 4 minutes. I'm going to see if I can see my live on my Facebook group and see if there's sound. And if there is, we'll just get started. So I'm just refreshing that now. Refreshing my page just while I'm looking up at the stars there because there's the monitor above me. So I'm just going to see if I have sound. Okay, well, I see stuff coming up on there. If you would like to connect, that would be great. The information is in the comment section on how to connect to the repeaters in the area. And we're going to get started there. So that's up and running really good. I have my script ready in front of me. Have my logger. And may the radio waves be with us. In 3 minutes, we're going to be getting started. Here's some things popping in there, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be a long 3 minutes, but no, probably not. Let's see here. Just going to make this big on the screen here. Okay, yep, I can hear myself. That's good. All right. And if we get some people up in there, then hopefully they'll come watch. Okay, 2 minutes until the game starts, folks. 2 minute warning. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, Ernest, St. Andrews, West Ontario. Just doing a radio check before the net starts. Can someone let me know if my audio is okay? Thank you. And Luke, Ontario, how are you this evening? And can you hear me okay? Or do I need to make any adjustments? Over.
Verizon VA3, BGW, Luke in Ontario. Know you sound loud and clear. Come in clear over here on the VE3 MCR repeater.
Thank you so much. Okay. I got a local check-in from our local repeater there. Thanks VE3XID for that, and thank you for your check. Okay, we're going to be starting in just 1 minute. This is VA3EWV. We're standing by. I wish I had a foot pedal for this radio, but I do not. So that's okay. We're gonna just do what we got. I think our repeater announces at 8 o'clock on the dot, so I'll try to let that go through first, and then I'll get started. Because it's set to announce the time every hour.
Good evening.
There it is.
The time is 8 p.m.
Good evening and welcome to the Ontario Provincial Communications Network. This province-wide communications net is conducted on Thursdays and Sundays at 2000 hours using a wide coverage link repeater systems. This includes the Escarpment repeater system, the Central Ontario repeater system, the URU repeater system, the SWORD system, the PMO system, as well as the VE3 TNK hub. This network of repeaters provides a full range of multi-mode interoperability using analog and digital communications, including the IRLP, All-Star, Echolink, and D-Star systems. Connections to the ProCom net can be made on the IRLP node 9055. Access to the net via All-Star node 27288. D-Star stations can use the reflector X-Ray Romeo Foxtrot 416 Alpha. In the event of a declared emergency in the province of Ontario, this network could be activated to provide auxiliary communications for Emergency Management Ontario, EMO.
Only picked up a few words of the last transmission.
Okay, and can you hear me better now?
At that time, the rest of it we hardly heard. This is VE3VFS.
Here, VE3 VFS, we had some local QRM over.
Well, it sounded like almost picket fencing, you know what I mean, in a mobile, but yeah, it was hardly any audio.
Okay, thanks for that. Thanks you. And I will be coming back, and just let me know, and I might have to switch from the repeater. Okay, as we move on there, as I was saying, this is a directed communications net using Emergency Management Ontario District and community names. Your net control station tonight is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. My name is Ernest. I'm located in St. Andrews, West Ontario. I will now stand by for any stations with emergency party or welfare traffic or severe weather reports for Canwarn. Okay, nothing heard. Please use sufficient power to access the repeaters, and please use the phonetic alphabet when giving your call sign. Also, before you talk, for me, if you could just key up a little bit, wait for the repeaters and all the systems to connect, then say your call sign twice, and then I'll be glad to take your calls. We'll now call for any stations in the Amethyst District, including Thunder Bay, Fort Francis, Dryden, and Kenora. Once more, for any stations from the Amethyst District, including Thunder Bay, Fort Francis, Dryden, and Kenora, this is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. Okay, we're going to move on to our next location. That's going to be stations from the Albany District, including Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, Elliott Lake, Cochrane, and Timmins.
Victor Echo 3, Echo Tango Echo. The name is Bob, Bravo Oscar Bravo. QTH is Elliott Lake. Over.
Net recognizes Bob from Elliott Lake, Victor Echo 3, Echo Tango Echo. Any other stations from that region, please come now. Okay, Bob, good evening. Welcome to the net. Glad you're out there today. Bob, how are things going in your area? Over.
VA3 Echo Whiskey Victor. Ernest, we've had rather warm day today, -4 Celsius most of the day, and it's about that now. It's still about that. And we have had some snow. I had to clean about 3 to 4 inches of snow off the car this morning. So, and given it's a fairly high SUV, it's a real struggle sometimes to get it all cleared off the roof there. Anyway, it's been a nice day. Otherwise, we did have a little bit of sunshine there, and that was good to see. So, that's about it for me. Thanks for taking the net. We'll say hello to everybody on frequency and 7-3 at the same time. So back to net control. V3 Echo Tango Echo. Thanks, Ernest.
VE3 Echo Tango Echo in the net. VA3 EW returning. Yes. So yeah, nice warm weather out there today. I was out playing with the vertical antenna. Just testing the different bands. I got a new coil today for 80 meters, so I tested that. And then I see that some of the snow is melting off the driveway, It was really mild here in St. Andrews, and a bit a little on the warm side too. Thank you again, there, Bob, for coming in and joining us today. Any other stations in the Albany district, including Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, Elliott Lake, Cochran's, and Timmins, please come now. Okay, we're now going to call for stations in the Bruce district, including Grey Bruce, Kincardine, Owen Sound, Kitchener, Cambridge, Region of Waterloo, Orangeville, and Dufferin County. Please come to the ProCom net.
Victor Echo 3, Alpha November Tango, Scott, Cambridge.
Okay, net recognizes Scott out of Cambridge. Any other stations in the Bruce district? Scott, good evening. Welcome to the net. And how are you today? Victor Echo 3, Alpha November Tango.
Yeah, very good. Victor Echo 3, Alpha November Tango, Scott in Cambridge. Good evening to yourself and to all of the ProCom net tonight. Well, things are going just fine here in Cambridge. A little bit of snow today, but not too bad. I know it's we got a little bit over the weekend too, so we've had quite a few flurries. Other than that, just listening along. Glad to hear the net's up and running. And with that, I'll turn it back to you from PE3A&T.
Thank you, Scott, and also thank you, Bob. It's good to hear you guys out there every week, and keep coming on back. We appreciate you being out there. Okay, if nothing else from the Bruce district, we're going to move down to the Capital Seaway district. That includes Ottawa, Renfrew, Brockville, and Cornwall. Ottawa, Renfrew, Brockville, and Cornwall. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard from the Capital Seaway District, Ottawa, Renfrew, Brockville, and Cornwall. If you do decide to come out from any places that we may have missed, we will pick up stations at the end of the hour. It is now 8:08 p.m. there, Eastern. All right, we're going to now move to the Golden Horseshoe District. That's going to be Hamilton, Niagara, Brantford, as well as any stations in New York State. Again, Hamilton, Niagara, Brantford, as well as any stations in New York State. Please come now. All right, nothing heard. We're going to keep moving down the line there. Now calling stations in the GTA, Greater Toronto Area. That's Toronto, York Region, and Durham Region. Again, Greater Toronto Area, Toronto, York Region, and Durham Region. Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Hotel Lima Delta, Ron and Scarborough. Dave and East York.
Okay, net recognizes Victor Alpha 3, Hotel Lima Delta, Ron. And then I heard Dave in New York, but we completely did not get the call sign at all. So may I have the person, Dave there? May I have your call sign?
VE3, Victor Romeo X-ray. Victor Echo 3, Victor Romeo X-ray. Dave in East York, Toronto. That's East York, Toronto.
Okay, thank you so much, Dave. So we have two stations. We'll pick it up with Ron there from Scarborough, Victor Alpha 3, Hotel Lima Delta. Victor Alpha 3, Hotel Lima Delta. Please come now.
Thank you, Ernest, and good evening to you and everyone else on frequency. This is the APHLD, Ron and Scarborough. Having a good evening, good day. Don't see enough snow. I'm a snow lover, but I'm lot more on the ground and coming from the sky these days than was this time last year. That's it from me. Back to you, Ernest. The angry HLE.
Thank you so much, Ron, for being out there today, and thanks for the check-in. Okay, we'll break with you now, and we'll pick it up with Victor Echo 3, Victor Romeo X-Ray. Dave, please come on in.
Thank you, Ernest. Thank you for doing the net. And good evening to everyone out there in Netland. Um, yeah, a little bit of snow. It's not that cold out. It's supposed to get terribly cold next week. My dog absolutely hates it. Um, she's a rescue dog. I don't think she understands snow. It's a long story. But, yeah. Anyway, we just got her 5 weeks ago. We're trying to get her conditioned to go outside rather than inside. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, we're working on it. And that's what happens with rescue dogs. So anyway, back to net control. Nothing else to report from Dave, E3VRX in East York, Toronto.
Thank you, Dave, for coming in and joining us today. You make me think of some of those little short videos. One is of a family that let the ducks out to go outside, and all the ducks go outside in the snow, and then they all turn around to go back into the shed. So that's what you made me think of with your rescue pet there. Thanks so much for being out there. Any other stations in the GTA area, Toronto, York region, and Durham region, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. We're now calling any stations in the GTA West area. That's GTA West area. That's going to be Peel region, Halton, Burlington, Oakville, and Brampton. Again, Peel region, Halton, Burlington, Oakville, and Brampton. Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Papa Romeo Echo.
Okay, we picked up Victor Alpha 3, Papa Romeo Echo. Any other stations out of the GTA West area before we start? Okay, Victor Alpha 3, Papa Romeo Echo. Please come on in. How are you today? Did I double with someone? Victor Alpha 3, Papa Romeo Echo. Please come on in.
Good evening, Ernest, and hello to everyone on net so far this evening and those listening. Good sound quality in here in
That's good.
Milton, Ontario, just near the 401. Could not pick up anything from you earlier on. I don't know what adjustments you made, but it's working very well at this point.
I did not make
Back
any.
to you.
Thank you for that. Yes, and you know, you get a little nervous on this side when you're net controller because there's nowhere to hear yourself. You have to depend on others. When you're using the digital modes, you can go to, like, for example, DMR. They have a parrot that you can listen to yourself. EchoLink also has a parrot that you can listen to yourself. But I do have a friend out there, V3XID, that gives me a little bit of a radio check before I get started. But there's so many repeaters and things connected, you just have to make sure. Thanks for being out there, and you have a good rest of your day. Any other stations from the GTA West area, please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Kilo November Tango.
Okay, net recognizes Victor Alpha 3, Kilo November Tango. If I had that call sign correct, please come on in. Okay, yeah, Ted, come on in. And you have a good signal coming into the repeaters there. Ted, how are you today? And are you a new ham? I put your call sign in, and I didn't see anything coming up. Victor Alpha 3 Kilo November Tango. QSL?
Yeah, I'm a pretty new ham. I got my license maybe 2 weeks ago or so, and I've made a couple contacts. So this is my third or fourth contact so far. Love the hobby so far. It's great.
Well, we're actually excited that you're out there, especially as a new ham. Believe it or not, I was a little mic shy when I started there, and I do have you in the Amateur Search of Canada there, on the ISAID site. So we do have you there. Um, and what do you go by again? What name do you go by on the air?
The name's Ted.
Okay.
Tango Echo Delta.
Thank you so much, Ted, and nice meeting you. So you've been a ham for a couple of weeks. Welcome to the hobby. I'm celebrating my second year tomorrow, so I'm having a big to do on the Facebook Live and stuff like that to celebrate my second year as a ham radio operator. You're gonna enjoy the hobby, and you will never be bored, and you will never have any money. So I just wanted to let you know that before we get started. Oh, and uh, everybody said that don't put your antennas up unless it's like freezing rain and no visibility. That's when you get the best signals, okay? So freezing rain and no visibility, that's when you erect your antennas. QSL? Oh, goodness.
Thank you for the advice. Yeah, I'm already looking at getting a HF style radio.
Okay, so yeah, we're just having a little fun out there. Thank you for being out there. We're here 8 p.m. on Thursday nights and 8 p.m. on Sundays. And usually Ward picks it up on Sundays, but we have lots of operators, so we'll be glad to have you back. And thanks for joining us. We'll break with you now and ask if there are any other folks in the GTA West before we move to the Killarney district. So any other call-ins from GTA West, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Now we're going to be calling from the Killarney district. That's Sudbury, Manitoulin Island, and any stations along the shore of Lake Huron. Please come now. One more time for the Killarney district, Manitoulin Island, and any stations along the Lake Huron. So Sudbury, Manitoulin Island, and any stations along the shores of Lake Huron. Please come now. Okay, we're going to be moving down to the Lakes District. That's going to be Barrie, Aurelia, Simcoe County, and Muskoka. Now calling for stations from the Lakes District, Barrie, Aurelia, Simcoe County, and Muskoka. Please come now. This is Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor.
Okay, evening, Ernest. This is Victor Alpha 3, Delta, Victor Whiskey. It's Dave here in Barrie.
Okay, we picked up Dave and Barrie. Good evening to you. Any other stations? Before we get started, please come now. Okay, Dave, we've had a lot of solo stations here tonight. Welcome to the net. We're glad to have you, Dave. And how's it going in your area over there in Barrie?
Well, thanks for checking me in there, Ernest, and good evening to everybody at ProCom Net tonight. This is Victor Alpha 3, Delta Victor Whiskey. The name here is Dave, and I'm located in the big city of Barrie. Not a bad evening over here. We got -7 currently on the thermometer with a bit of very light snow falling from the sky, or as somebody once said, some Alaskan topsoil. Hi, hi. But we're doing good. I gotta say, Ernest, you're sounding me really good at the net there tonight. You got a good signal coming in finally, and the modulation is excellent tonight. You got that VHF UHF voice working very well for you tonight. So
much else happening over here. I got no traffic for you net this evening. I just wanted to get a check in here real quick and wish everybody at ProCom a great weekend coming up. Looks like we're in for some colder temperatures down in this part of Ontario, but it is winter. Anyway, I'll send it back to the control there, and again, 7-3 to everybody. Take care. BA3DBW, I'll be listening.
Thank you so much, Dave, there. I appreciate it. It's been a little difficult going from UHF, VHF, and then over to HF, and then to the digital modes, like All-Star Echo Link. So you know how people are bilingual. You have to be like tri-radio or something like that, because I'm either eating the mic, putting it away from me, talking across it, and you know sometimes I forget what I'm on and what I'm talking on. But you know there's someone always to help you out there so you can sound better. Thank you so much for being out there with us tonight, David, and we appreciate it. Any other stations that want to check in from the Lakes District, please come now. Okay, we're going to keep it moving, folks, and we're going to be calling for any station now in the Lawless District. That's going to be Kingston, Frontenac, Belleville, and Trenton. Again, Kingston, Frontenac, Belleville, and Trenton, please come to the ProCom net. Okay, we did hear a key up out there. Let's try one more time. Lawless District, Kingston, Frontenac, Belleville, and Trenton. Please come now. Okay, at this time, we'll go move down to the Magnetawan District. That's going to be Perry Sound, North Bay, Nipissing, Britt. Again, Perry Sound, North Bay, Nipissing, or Britt. Please come now. Okay, we caught the last, I think the suffix UI, the call sign there. So we did catch the last part of the call sign. Please come on in. This is Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor.
Okay, very good. It's Victor Echo 3, Yankee Uniform India. It's operator Dan. I'm mobile from Masterville. Well, Chisholm, really, but anyway, so I guess I'm in Chisholm. I went across the border there. Anyway, just checking in there with you. Snowing here. It's -4, and that's about it. Thanks for being there, and 7-3.
Victor Echo 3, Yankee Uniform India, and the net. Dan, we appreciate you being out there. Mobile, the radio sounded good coming into the repeater there in your local area, and it looks like you were just keying it up there. I could hear the identifier in the background. Thanks for being out there, Mobile. Be safe out there in the snow. We'll break with you now and do one last check for Perry Sound, North Bay, Nipissing, or Britt. Please come now. Okay, we're going to break from that district and pick up the St. Clair district. That's Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent, Rondeau Provincial Park, and Sarnia. Again, Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent, Rondeau Provincial Park, and Sarnia. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. We're going to be now calling any stations from the Severn District. The City of Kawartha Lakes, Peterborough, Lindsay, Haliburton, and Algonquin Provincial Park. Again, that's the City of Kawartha Lakes, Peterborough, Lindsay, Haliburton, and Algonquin Provincial Park. Please come now. Okay, moving right along. We are a light net tonight. I think everybody must have fell asleep on the couch waiting for the net to come around. Hi. Okay, now calling any stations in the Tecumseh district. That's going to be London, St. Thomas, Woodstock. Again, London, St. Thomas, and Woodstock. Please come now. Okay, we picked up two stations there. We picked up Tom in London, and we also picked up Victor Echo 3 Yankee Hotel Whiskey, Steve. Any other stations before we get started? Any other stations?
Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Papa Golf, Kevin in Woodstock.
Okay, awesome. We have a trio. Kevin in Woodstock there. Okay, Tom, I did not get your call sign, but I have your name and I recognize your voice. We're gonna go to you second. We're gonna bring it down to Steve though at the top of the list. Victor Echo 3 Yankee Hotel Whiskey. Please come down.
Thank you. It's Victor Echo 3, Yankee Hotel Whiskey. My name here is Steve, and I'm from St. Thomas, Ontario. I just want to do a quick radio check there with you, Net Control. It's my first time joining this net, sir.
Victor Echo 3 Yankee Hotel Whiskey. You're sounding really good into the net. Full quieting on the repeater. And just so this is your first time, we do meet every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. The net usually runs for about an hour, sometimes about an hour and 15 minutes. And we are also here again on Sunday nights at the same time. And we'd be glad to have you back. Are you a new ham, or are you just this your first time checking into the net?
Hey, thanks. That's fantastic for that signal report. Yeah, no, I am a new ham, and thanks for having me here tonight, and good evening to everyone listening. So yeah, this is my first time joining the ProCom net, and I am a new ham. I got my ticket back in November with the London Amateur Radio Club, and I'm currently accessing the net through the VE3 Triple T repeater in London. So yeah, overall having a great night. This is my second net of the night, so it's pretty good. Glad to be here and lots of fun. I suppose a quick weather report from here in St. Thomas. It's currently -4 degrees Celsius with a 13-kilometer southwestern wind, gusting up to 20 kilometers per hour. So it's giving us a wind chill of -9. Not too bad. Definitely going to feel warm compared to the projections for next week. Anyhow, I have no further traffic really here, so I'll pass it back over to you, Net Control. This is Victor Echo 3 Yankee Hotel Whiskey.
Victor Echo 3 Yankee Hotel Whiskey. I have a smile from ear to ear. You sound like an old pro out there, and you remind me of the folks I listen to in the morning in New York State. I forget the call sign of the repeater, but they do a weather net. I see your call sign. I'll try to reach out to you because I would love to give you that information for the weather net, and you're sounding really good. Keep up the good work. We have two new hams here tonight, and as I was saying to everyone else, I'm celebrating my second year, and I just got my HF back in April too. So just starting with HF. Thanks for being out there. We hope to see you again next week or on Sunday. It'll be great to have you twice. Thank you for being out there. Now we have our friend Tom. We'll break with you and go down to our friend Tom there. I haven't forgotten about you. Can I just have your call sign, Tom, when you come on in? Thank you so much. Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor listening.
Yeah, it's Victor Alpha 3, Tango Alpha Charlie. Victor Alpha 3, Tango Alpha Charlie. Yeah, welcome to the hobby, Stephen. Yeah, it's a great time, and London Amateur Club is really good. Anyway, yeah, about the same temperature here as St. Thomas, and sounds like we're going to get a nice bit of sun tomorrow, so hopefully that'll be good too before the deep freeze. Anyway, thanks for being there, 7-3, and have a great weekend. Back to Net Control.
Thank you for Tom for being out there. Yep. Have a good rest of your week there. And we'll be picking it up with you later. Hopefully we'll hear you Sunday or next week. Thank you for being out there. Okay, let's pick it up now with Kevin, who's been waiting patiently. Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Papa Golf. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. These are my first time checking. Not very often do I. And talking about listeners and scanners too. I got a shout out to
Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Papa Golf. Thank you for being out there, Kevin. It was a little bit of in and out, but I picked up lots of your conversation there. I don't know if you're mobile or not, but it did drop off a little bit there, just so you'll know. But we got your message. We thank you for being out there, and good for your shout outs there as well. We're hoping everybody's having a happy new year 2025 if this is your first time back. And we're going to break with Kevin now and look for any last stations in the last district before we move on. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. Okay, now we're at the bottom for general call. So general call, we're going to be asking for any further stations wishing to check in. And please come with your call sign first, then your QTH. And we'll be happy to take your calls. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. Please come now.
This is Victor Alpha 3, Foxtrot Kilo Yankee. Victor Alpha 3, Foxtrot Kilo Yankee.
Frankie.
Frankie, in North
I
York.
love it. I love it. I love Frankie.
Victor Alpha 3, Tango Kilo Alpha. Victor Alpha 3, Tango
Andrew.
Kilo Alpha. Name is Andy, and QTH is Mount Hope.
Okay. Okay, we picked up two stations. We picked up Frankie, and we picked up Andy. Any other stations wishing to check in before we get started, please come down to the ProCom net. Okay, we're going to bring it up to the top to my main man, Frankie. Victor Alpha 3, Foxtrot Kilo Yankee Frankie. Come on in, Frankie. How are you this evening?
Everyone, this is Victor Alpha 3, Foxtrot Kilo Yankee Frankie. Doing well. Just, colder today, but outside still dark. But with the street, with all the houses there, and the street, kind of looks like a Christmas postcard in some change of red houses. So, kind of neat outside. Weather-wise, nothing really. Here it's kind of okay. California, LA, that area is kind of really like, things are really crazy. And fires and stuff, definitely not I want to be seeing as a fires, death, destruction. That's not how the year should be about. And the whole drone collision involving the drone, I don't know, those guys who are flying the drone. I'm not going to say what I really want to say because I won't be allowed to say it over these airwaves. I'll leave it at back to net control.
Victor Alpha 3, Foxtrot Kilo Yankee Frankie. Yes, I did watch that. Don't watch a lot of TV. After recent events, I just turned off the TV and got just more on the radio there. But yes, I did see that that wing of the plane getting hit. That was pretty scary. And a big shout out to all the Canadians and all the pilots and all the ground crew and everything helping folks out in all those areas that are having those disasters. Also, I've been keeping up with those same places because they are going through the disaster recovery. They are using their systems that we are testing tonight to make sure it's working. And I've been tuning into that, just making, because when it comes, it comes. We might be caught off guard, right? So I'm glad that we're out here testing our equipment and testing the repeaters. Thank you, Frankie. We'll break with you, and we'll go all the way over to Mount Hope there and pick up Victor Alpha 3, Tango Kilo Alpha. Andy, please come now.
Roger, Roger. This is Andy in Mount Hope, Victor Alpha 3, Tango Kilo Alpha. Check, can you ever be on net there? I checked the ProCom net a couple times in the past. I just happened to have my radio on tonight.
Awesome.
and heard the net going on, so I figured I would just quickly jump in. And yeah, nothing big going on down here in Mount Hope. I'm pretty much sick of winter at this point, and looking forward to spring. I always get a little bit moody and bummed out this time of year, so it's time to get. My wife had gotten me a couple of years ago. She got me one of those. It's a big sort of rectangular shaped therapy light, and you know what? It really helps out. Just right around this
Okay.
time of year, when it's dark so long, it's cold, it's miserable. I find using that thing really helps. But yeah, that's about all I have here in Mount Hope. Andy in Mount Hope, B3TKA. Back to net control.
Victor Alpha 3, Tango Kilo Alpha. Andy, look, we appreciate you being out there. We're glad you're back too. We have 3 people that have, well, 2 new hams. Glad to, and I hope you guys can. Hope the 2 new hams stick around after. I want to ask you some questions after the net if you are able to stick around. Andrew too. Andy, I want to make sure that I invite you to the Sunday ProCom net. We have it twice a week. The ProCom net at 8 p.m. Eastern time on the same repeaters. So you get a double batch of some goodness there. We appreciate you being in there, and we hope to hear from you again. Okay, we'll break with Andy and call any other further stations from anyone anywhere. Want to check in? Please come now. Okay, it is 8:39 p.m. No other stations have come in. At this time, we will close the net. And I wish to thank the owners and operators of the following repeaters. That is the Escarpment Repeater Association, the Central Ontario Repeater System, the URU Repeater System, the SART System, PMO System, as well as the T&K Hub. 7-3 to all, and I'm returning the repeaters back to their normal operations. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, Ernest, and we'll be clear. 7-3 to all, and have a good week. Uh, uh, this is Ernest calling. Is VA3KNT. VA3KNT, are you still listening? Over.
Victor Alpha 3 KNT. Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, good to hear from you. There's the ProCom net. Thank you for being out here tonight for that. So that's, like I said, it's on Thursday nights at 8, on Sunday nights at 8. I know you said you had listened to another net. I think that was you, because we had 2 new hams out there. Hope the other ham is still out there as well. But we also have a Trans-Canada net that comes in at 1 o'clock. Maybe I know it's on the repeater that I'm on. I hope it's in the same repeater on your area as well. But if you could, if you go to this site called QRZ, Quebec, Romeo Zulu, QRZ.com, and look for Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, you'll see my contact information there. And I would love to reach out to you and give you a proper welcome to the ham thing. The ham, it's been very exciting to me. And I just got through working on a video for my second year as a ham operator. And oh my God, I did so much cool stuff. It seems like ham radio is endless with the things you could do with radio. So what got you to get into ham radio, if I can ask? Over.
Yeah, I was first introduced to ham radio on a trip we did out east, and we were waiting for a ferry and thought, hey, we'll check out this lighthouse. And there was an amateur radio club set up there, and they were talking to somebody in Europe somewhere, and I was just blown away by that. And yeah, after that cell phone outage by Rogers, I just kind of thought, yeah, it's probably wise to get some kind of extra communication. So it's kind of what spurred me on to get my ham radio license.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you had those two encounters. Lighthouse on the air, lighthouse on the air. Yes, I do that myself. And you can see pictures of me at various lighthouses around Canada there. I'm going to start doing windmills because that is a such thing as windmills on the air. They have islands on the air and summits on the air. So, and right now I'm doing parks on the air. So if you're able to check it out, I'm not trying to advertise myself, but as a new radio operator, there were so many people that finished the class when I went to the class with the rack. They finished it, but they never went back on the air. And some of the guys that got a hold to it, I'm like, why haven't you gone on the air? And the different reasons and stuff like that, but it's the shyness. So I was so happy to hear the two new hams finding your ways out here today and getting on the air. And if you can, check it out, the QRZ. And if you can't, my call sign is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. And my email is just at gmail.com. I would love to get a message from you. And I do have my own Facebook group, and it's catered toward new hams. And I do have a YouTube channel. Again, nothing is edited. It's just raw footage of my first 2 years as a ham operator. And I'd love to keep in touch there. Victor Alpha 3 Kilo November Tango. Is the other new ham still listening? Over. Okay, nothing heard. If anyone else is out there that wants to say hi to I'm just looking at your actual name. I think you said you go by Ted. Does anybody else want to say hello to Ted before we, well, the net's over, but before we go? Over?
Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot, Burn in Lauderdale.
Yeah, Vern, go ahead.
Thanks for doing the net. Would like to welcome Ted to the ham radio hobby. It is a lot of fun. There's always stuff on the air, and it doesn't have to be that expensive. Much of my initial equipment I bought used, and don't have to drop a lot of money to get into various aspects of the hobby. And I would also take my hat off to you, Ernest. You're a great example. Thanks so much for all that you do. BA3CRF.
Over to you, Ted, for to reply.
BA3KNT. I was also wondering if I could get your call sign again, net controller.
Yes, the call sign is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. Victor Alpha 3 EWV. That stands for Ernest Wayne Vincent. QSL?
Great, thank you. I've got Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor.
That is correct. Thank you so much. Okay, I don't want to hold you up. Like I said, I just decided to reach out because the net usually ends at 9 o'clock. But it ended earlier tonight. It's usually jam-packed, a good hour or so. Sometimes we go over, depending on the people. Anyway, it's good to have you out there, and I'll let you go at your convenience. If anyone else is out there that wants to say anything, please come down. VE3KDZ, I think I heard. Go ahead.
Ernest, sorry I missed the net tonight, I guess. I'm hearing it's wrapped up. I just wanted to get in and say hi and keep warm, everyone, and all the best.
Okay, did I get the call sign right? Is this Chris out of Toronto?
Correct. Chris in specific on the Danforth in East York.
Yes, thank you, Chris. No, we only had like 13 check-ins. I do have you in the log though. Well, appreciate you being out there. We had two new hams on the air tonight, and one person that had checked in that hadn't been here in a while. And I was just making sure I had the welcome wagon out, letting them know about the nets tonight and the ones on Sunday. So if they miss one, they can always pick us up on the weekend. But you've been having a good week there, Chris?
Been having a pretty good week, and tonight, actually just a couple hours ago, I ordered a brand new HF radio, so that's exciting.
Okay, you can't just leave us hanging with that. What'd you get? Oh shit! Sorry about that. For some reason, I switched to a different repeater. Chris, if you're still out there, I said you just can't leave us with that. What kind of radio did you get?
Ordered a Yaesu FDDX10.
Man, you're gonna be happy as a clam with that one. I'm telling you, that's awesome. Uh, I know how it is getting a new radio. The one gentleman was saying you don't have to it doesn't take a lot to start ham radio, and he's absolutely correct. Because my first radio was my iPhone 6 Plus. That's like 1,000,000 years old, and I connected with Echolink because I did not have funds even for a handy talkie. And then a silent key told me if I passed my test, he would give me a radio. Sadly, after 4 failed tests in a row, he passed away before I could pass my test. But I did go on to pass my test, and my first handy talkie was a Wuxen radio, followed by another good friend of mine who gave me a Baofeng radio that I wear out all the time. I use that radio more than anything. I have three handy talkies now. One I bought, the Yaesu for fox hunting. So if you guys do get to check out my Facebook group, just look for Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor on Facebook or YouTube. And we just did a really good fox hunt this past Sunday. If you don't know what that is, just tune in and you'll see that. But yeah, you don't have to get a lot. And if you're around a lot of good people, some people just have lots of everything. And they'll be happy to either give you a good deal on some stuff or just give you stuff. I've been gifted quite a few things here. Been blessed with that. Back over to you there, Chris.
So the best radio is the one you have on you and the one you enjoy using. So that's awesome. I actually have a couple Baofangs as well and a couple other ones, and it doesn't really matter. Just enjoy all forms of it. So I'm just getting used to it now and new to it as well. I do check out your YouTube channel. If I may make one request.
Yes, go ahead. I'm always taking recommendations.
When you're taking your video, the last one I watched, I think you were doing a POTA in your car there. And I didn't watch the whole thing. Maybe I got to go back and check it out. But get some info that shows the radio as well and what frequency you're on and how you're handling the dials and stuff and give us a little bit of that. I think that would be really nice.
You know what? Now that I'm 2 years old, I just have a little funny ha-ha for you. And look, I really appreciate that. So what you're saying is, yeah, because you know what? That is a problem. I don't take a lot. I do. Well, let me just tell you, if you have a second, the reason I record the thing is really not to post it for other people, besides my mom. That's the one reason. But the second reason, I'm super dyslexic. And you'll hear me say, oh, did you say Victor Echo 3, Kilo Delta Zulu? Is this Chris? Because I'm looking at the computer and I'm looking for the person to come back and say Chris. Because I know I'll have the call sign right. I did not want to be net control because I'm that dyslexic that it was keeping me from even wanting to pursue that. But now with the modern technology and stuff like that, and when I put the call signs in, that's what gave me, when I put our new buddy there, Ted, when I put his call sign in, it didn't show anything. So I was like, oh, is this it? But let me pause. that was the main reason I was doing that, just for myself. And then I found out that on YouTube, also if something crashed, because one day I did over 200 contacts. It was raining, so my notebook got all wet and messy, and I dropped it. And then my computer, I had a problem with it, and I lost everything. So I said to myself, if I had done a live, it would still be there. So still to this day, though, I will bring the video recorder just to make sure it's recording me. I still have paper, and then I'll put it on the computer. And some people have caught me putting it on paper, putting it on the computer, and they're like, "Why are you doing that?" But now that I'm 2 years old and ham now, I will upgrade because so many people say to me, "What frequency are you on?" And I'm like, "Oh, I forgot to say that." So I will take that advice and start putting what frequency I'm on the thing there, and start because you have to work that radio to death there over.
And I think it would be enjoyable watching you work that radio to death. And just on that note, I think people, I mean, myself included, just want to see a real person, not overproductive, like overproduction, fake, scripted thing. They want to see a real person using the radio, having fun, making mistakes, making those contacts. And you seem like a real person, and so, give it a try. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised the positive feedback you get.
Well, I'll tell you, having a video out there, I can't tell you how many good lessons I've learned, and how much fun I've had when people have reached out to me. Oh my God! My wife called me on the phone, and I was like, Why is she calling me?" She kept calling me over and over, and I'm like, "Oh, is the house dead? I mean, is the house burning up?" So I stopped and I was like, "Hello," and she says, "The guy says you're talking to the back of the mic," and I was like, "Oh." The Yaesu radio that I have, the stock mic, it feels more comfortable the other way around. So if I'm not looking and I grab it, I'll be talking to the back of it. And then another video I had just got a Heil 7 headset, and it came with a foot pedal, and it came with a thumb switch. And, it has the boom that comes down too. And the boom was still up, and I was sitting there talking, and I was looking at the video, and someone said, "We can't hear you, we can't hear you." And then the guy says, "Put your boom down and stop talking to the foot pedal." So I was talking to the foot pedal. I'm embarrassed to say that, but I was talking to the foot pedal, but I've had the mic backwards. And also on some of the videos, since I had the shoulder surgery, and I was out in the car because my family would bring me out, leave me, I can be caught, if you look at the video closely, I'm talking to the thumb switch and I'm not talking to the microphone. So yep. Those things happen. Back over to you.
That's pretty funny, and I think people will get a good kick out of that. I think you were telling this story on Sunday on one of the nets. I think I heard you mention specifically that you weren't getting the foot pedal thing and you're talking the mic backwards. So I think I heard you talking about that on Sunday. Question for you: are you in your car? Do you have a Yaesu 891?
No, so the radios that I have, and by the way, we may lose each other in a few minutes, but don't worry. I don't know. I'm saying the repeaters might disconnect, but I'll still be here. But anyway, I have for the mobile radio that I use, like I'm talking on now, I love my Anytone D578 UV plus 3. That's a lot to say, but it's a mobile tri-band, so UHF, VHF 220, and DMR. I love it to death. And I also have a Bluetooth that looks like a handy talkie that goes with it, and I can be seen with it clipped to my shirt, and my wife rolling her eyes as I walk through the house like I'm important or something, because I can remotely connect to the radio. My HF radio that my wife bought for me when I passed my advance, and I always like to let her know that I really appreciate it. It's the Yaesu FT991 Alpha. And I have learned every button and switch on that because when I go out to the parks, I'm usually doing 250 to 300 contacts. And I've learned how to use the filters, I've learned how to use every button on that thing in a short amount of time. There, over.
Read
Well, yes, I have. So in my car, I have a 220 radio that's just regular 220. Uh, at the beginning of the year, when I was staying with my daughter in Quebec, instead of driving back and forth to from Ottawa to Cornwall, over there in the Quebec side, they do a lot of 220. So I have a 220 antenna on the back of the car with that radio. I have my 11 meter radio that I use all the time because there's a group of guys on my way from Cornwall to Ottawa that are around on at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'll talk to them. Then I'll be on the repeaters and changing the repeaters as I travel on um, the Anytone there. And then when I go off the road there to a park, I have my 991, right? So, but I have a case, and when I leave out of the car, nothing's in the car, by the way, because so many of my friends were scared of that. And they said, oh, you have all that stuff. But it's only when I'm in the car, and when I'm out of the car, it's out of the car.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to get going because I'm going to go inside the house now. I've been on the road for the last 2 hours just yakking on the radio. And I know Rudy was looking to jump in there, VE3OUA. So maybe we'll see if he's still around. But what I'll do, Ernest, is I'll go check out those videos like I was. And I'll drop my call sign in the comments and say hi.
Okay, awesome, and I'm pretty excited that people are watching. Okay, any other folks out there, please come on in before the repeaters start turning off.
Victor Echo 3, Mexico, Quebec.
Victor Echo 3, Mexico, Quebec, come on in.
Good evening, Ernest, and everybody else that's listening. VE3MQ Tom in Hamilton.
And Tom, we have you on the log. Appreciate you being out there. The net had ended tonight because nobody was out, and I decided to pick it up with 2 new hams, or 3 new hams, and just asked them to lag back and have a conversation with them. But how are you doing this evening there, Tom?
Oh, I'm doing good. Just came out to the shot not long ago and doing some FT8 on 40 meters.
I love that. I finally got Hawaii on FT8, and I was working it. It took me 26 or 27 minutes. I have the whole thing videotaped and on my YouTube and Facebook channel. But people just think that, you just turn on FT8. You don't even touch your radio at all. You just turn on the radio, you click on the FT8 button, you go to the store, you come back, you got 60,000 contacts. That's not how it works. There are stations that I've been trying to get over and over, especially with the WWA, the Worldwide Awards, and you're just working them and you're just trying different stuff. I even emailed the guy I was trying to work, and he actually picked up the email, and he says, "Oh, I don't see you." So I was actually able to increase the power. I was at 30 watts. I put it to 50 watts, and then with that new WSJT plus whatever it's called. I was, it'll show you SWR. So then I went over to the little slider on the right and kept going up. And he goes, "I see you." And we were emailing each other back and forth. And he finally saw me, and I got that, was able to get that country in my log there. Over.
Yeah, very good. Well, the new 2.7.1, the new WSGTX, I like this one. More filtering, you can turn things off, turn things on, and it tells you your mileage, and everything.
I know. I was just happy to get a contact, but tell you the truth. And now I was like, wait a minute, I want to get the DX100. So if I go back 4 weeks ago, I had 73 DX stations. I started using the filtering, and I'm like, I don't want anything in, nothing in North America, right? So I cut out all the North American states. They still come in a little bit, but I filtered that out, and I said I want to filter out anybody that I've talked to before, right? Because you start seeing the same call signs popping up. So I did that for about a week or two straight, and I got 13 different countries just like that. And now what I'm trying to do is work all Canadian stations, like as many Canadian stations as I see. So now, if you look at my QRZ there, all you see is DX and Canadian stations. DX and Canadian stations. However, if a U.S. station does call, I know that they're trying to get a grid or something like that. And the thing I really like about FT8 is more people on FT8 validate their contacts than the folks that are not on FT8. Back over to you.
That's it, exactly. Okay, I'll let you continue on there, Ernest. Good to hear you in there. Thank you for being there, and we'll talk to you again. VE3MQ.
VE3MQ, have a good rest of your day. 7-3 to you. All right, anyone else out there want to, well, the net's over, but anybody else want to say hi before we close it off? Okay, thanks for everybody for being out there. This was a great net, and hope to see you guys on Sunday. I'll be a participant on Sunday and not a controller. Have a good rest of your day, everybody, and a good weekend. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor signing off. 7-3. All right, folks, that was a really good ending there. So,
Hey Ernest, it's Ted here, Victor Alpha 3 Kilo November Tango. I was just wondering what your signal was called.
you're wondering what was called again, Ted?
Your YouTube channel.
Oh yes, it's On the Air with VA3EWV. On the Air with VA3EWV. But I think if you just do hashtag VA3EWV, I think you'll see it. Over.
Great, I'll check that out later on tonight. I'll send you an email as well. What was that again? va3wmb@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Negative. Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. So that stands for Ernest Wayne Vincent. My first name Ernest, middle name Wayne, last name Vincent. So va3ewv@gmail.com. Or just Ernest Vincent, EARNESTVINSON @gmail.com. Okay, either way, you'll be able to get to me there. And if you just do a search for VA3EWV, probably even in Google, it'll probably lead you to me. I'm going to try that now. Hashtag VA3EWV.
Great, thank you. VA3 Kilo November Tango, clear.
All right, no problem. And just to let you know, if you do hashtag VA3EWV in Google, it brings you to the QRZ, the Facebook, and the YouTube right on the same page. All right, have a good night, everybody. I think the repeaters are going to start shutting down here momentarily.
Have a good night too, Ernest. VE3KDZ clear.
VE3KDZ, VA3EWV clear as well. Okay, that was exciting. I've never to date had someone asking about YouTube channels and what I do on stuff like that. So that was pretty nice. All right, we're gonna close off this and say hello, say goodbye to everybody, and y'all have a good day. VA3EWV, we're clear.